Racism in Germany. Let's talk about it. This is Lorenz, a black 21-year-old who was shot by a white police officer in Oldenburg. Police officers claim they felt threatened because he had a knife, which was never found on the crime scene.
They don't want to show it.
Yeah.
They don't want to show it, but they have that. You know?
You have these jokes.
Yeah.
With these jokes, you really feel like they're not showing you that they hate you, but they hate you, you know?
I have to be honest with you, yes, I've experienced racism, not once, not twice. But the shocking part of it is, the people who I've had this encounter with are not German natives.
Started asking me some questions like, are you on asylum? Was this apartment given to you by the government? How are your parents? Do you have to send all your money to your parents back home? There's this stereotype that maybe you're here to beg.
Racism in Germany. Let's talk about it. This is Lorenz, a black 21-year-old who was shot by a white police officer in Oldenburg. Police officers claim they felt threatened because he had a knife, which was never found on the crime scene. And they also said he was threatening them with that knife, attacking them. Weird thing about that is that the autopsy actually revealed that he was shot in the back 4 times. Tell me, how do you feel threatened by someone who's not even facing you? Why are you lying? On top of that, every person who speaks up about it is being targeted by racists. People are saying the police has done an amazing job. People are dehumanizing him and obviously portraying him as evil or as a felon. Still not getting that we're talking about a human life. Also not getting that even if he was a felon, he deserves a fair trial. I mean, look at Trump. He's running a whole country. There's so many ways to destabilize a human being. They shot him in the hip, in the chest, and in the back of his head. A shot in the hip must have been enough for you to not feel threatened anymore. We're gonna have a protest today in Germany. All I can say is rest in peace, for real.
Thank you. Hate you. They don't want to show it.
Yeah.
They don't want to show it, but they have that. You know?
You have these jokes.
Yeah.
With these jokes, you really feel like they're not showing you that they hate you, but they hate you, you know? But it's not really, they hate you because they know they hate you, it's just in them that they hate you. Because you're different, because you're not like them.
Yeah. Because you're yourself.
Yeah.
Yourself. I would say that there are not that many people of our skin color over here. Or not even skin color, I would say, with the mindset of us, you know, because skin color is one thing, but not of the mindset of us, I would say, yeah, that's true.
So we all have this conception that there is a high rate of racism in Europe, and especially in Germany. And if you have been in Germany, I believe that you must have come across 1 or 2 racist persons. I've been in Germany for a while now, and I have to be honest with you, yes, I've experienced racism, not once, not twice. But the shocking part of it is, the people who I've had this encounter with are not German natives. Read my lips. They are not German natives. Most of them are also immigrants, especially some within Europe, white-skinned immigrants who also come into Germany to look for work. And when they get themselves, you know, when they get themselves into the system, like know the German language, they can speak it fluently, they start behaving like they are the Germans, like they are the natives. They want to control the show. And this is where the problem is. Because I came to realize that most people, most Germans, if you have had an encounter with most of the Germans, they are very straightforward, they are polite, they have self-respect, they have this space that you have to respect each and everybody's privacy. But when it comes to these other nationalities, Turkish, Iranians, most of them that are immigrants here in Germany, they just mess things up.
Have you experienced discrimination or racism here in Berlin?
Yeah. So recently, my husband and I, we got our own apartment. I was the one that was going for the viewings and stuff like that. The person who opened the door for me was shocked that I was going to buy the apartment, and was like, "Are you sure you can afford it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Show me around." It was hard for her to show me around. Also, when we finally bought the apartment, there's always a grandma who would always talk about maybe your child or something, or they're always with lenses to look into your apartment. I've heard about that. I've experienced that until we moved to our apartment.
Looked into your apartment
Yes.
through lenses.
Yes. She started asking me some questions like, are you on asylum? Was this apartment given to you by the government? How are your parents? Do you have to send all your money to your parents back home in Nigeria? There's this stereotype that maybe you're here to beg from the government or you're ripping the government off. Good morning, you guys. So let's talk about racism in Dresden. So I feel like everybody would have different view of what they consider racism. And for me, the constant racism that I experience is actually whenever I go to Praga Strasse. There is this crazy man in Emilia. There is this crazy man in Praga Strasse that, every time I pass there, especially like every single time I pass there, is always insulting me, calling me different names. Emilia, what happened yesterday?
The crazy man.
The crazy man, what was he doing?
He's shouting.
He was shouting. And where was he?
He's in the bench. They're sitting in the bench.
Yeah, he was sitting in the bench. Was it in the street?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
It was in the street.
Yeah. It was in the street. And now. What do you want to say?
Shouting.
Yeah, he was shouting and it was not
Good.
It was not good. So I think the first time.
I fastened the crazy man.
Yeah, niche and fasten. No touching the crazy man. No talking to the crazy man. No looking at the crazy man. Do you understand?
Only in the stroller.
Yeah, you can look from the stroller, but don't look at him too much. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So yes, I understand.
Slowly.
What?
Ambition slowly.
Ambition slowly. Okay. So I felt like the first time he did that to me, I was actually shaking. I think that was about 2 years ago with my daughter as well. I was terribly shaking. And I think I cried that day because I was on the phone call and someone just shouted and screamed at me. I think I made a video that day, like 2 years ago. And towards the end of the year, last year, I was also with a friend and this man called me a monkey and told me to go back to Africa, that I was only getting the money here, blah, blah, blah. And yesterday he also, shouted at me and this man is just so crazy. And I feel like if reverse was the case, if he was a black person shouting at people in the street, the police would have gotten the person, because I feel like I'm not the only one who that man is doing that to. Like, it's only when I pass there, obviously it's based on the color of my skin, because every other person passed there and he doesn't do anything. But the moment I pass there, that's when he's shouting and saying all sort of nonsense. And I don't know if someone has already reported him before, or I should just go ahead and also report him myself. I have no idea what to do. If you live in Dresden, do you know this man who sits in the middle of the street at Praga Strasse, like on a bench, I think in front of Zara or thereabouts? Have you experienced it?
It's in the bench. In the bench.
Yes.
So guys, this is my room. This is where I stay. I'm going to show you 360 degrees round. So here is my room round. So it's in Nuremberg. I've been staying here since November. I moved into this apartment in November and I liked it. It's situated nicely. It's a 7-story building and I stay at the 7th floor. Now, this is my problem. This window here is broken. This stuff right here, which they use to pull this shade. This is a metal shade, up or down, so light can come in and sunlight can come in, fresh air and the rest, is broken. So the window is working properly, but because of this shade and this stuff here, which is supposed to use to pull it up, is kaput. So I cannot pull that off. I've been texting and calling and emailing the company in charge of this apartment for 3 months now, and nobody has come to do this repair. The person in charge of this apartment has promised me so many times that he's going to send somebody. This started in November 2022. I left November, I discovered this and I took a picture, I sent to him. He came here himself, he saw the damage, he took pictures, and he said he's going to send somebody to repair. November went by, nobody came. December came, I called the company, nobody picked my call for so many times, and finally one woman picked. I tried to talk to her, she said she doesn't understand what I'm saying, and I said, okay, I can better explain in English. She said she doesn't understand English, and she dropped the call. I emailed her, no reply. Emailed the main company itself, no reply. Called and text and emailed the person, the agent in charge of this apartment, no reply. And my question is, if it was a German who had this problem and sent a complaint, the very next day, this problem would have been solved. Because I'm an immigrant, I'm black, and I don't speak Dutch very well. It's been ignored. This is February 2023, and yet this shit is still looking like this. So at this point in time, I'm fed up. I just want to leave this apartment. So if you're in Nuremberg and you have a room available and you need somebody, please hit me up. I'm going to tell you my budget. And if you know somebody that does repairs of stuffs like this, you can recommend me to them. Maybe somebody can try and repair it, and I'm going to take care of it. Then I'll discuss it later with them on the financial part of it. So this is my room. It's 2 p.m. in the day. Let me show you what it looks like if my lights are off. You see how dark it looks like? You can see the little sunlight coming, illuminating through the opening there. So this is what I've been going through now for almost 4 months, and nobody is helping. Please, guys, help. This question is very sensitive. Will you cross Mediterranean Sea, cross the Sahara Desert to migrate to Africa? If Europe were in Africa, Africa is here. Who will do that? This is very sensitive question. The reason why I ask this question, most of you, I can say all of you, have no idea how life is difficult for young people who grow up in Africa. You have no single idea. That is why I try to do something like this, because I want to know what is in your mind. Let us to be honest. If you don't have nothing in Germany, you don't have nothing. You don't even know how to go to school. You don't even know if you can eat 3 times in a day. But you know that Africa, if you arrive there, you will have chance. You will go to school. You will have good work. Will you cross Mediterranean Sea or cross Sahara Desert to come to Africa to integrate? Who can answer me, please? Be honest. Please go on.
I'm pretty unsure, but I would actually do it after what you just said, because before I couldn't really imagine what it's like, obviously. As you said, we are very lucky. But now that I really hear it, yeah, I would guess I would risk it. It basically sounds like just better in every way. So if I have really nothing and might die every day, the risk is probably worth it. Well, personally say.
Please clap for me. If you don't know how to swim and you have no idea about Sahara Desert, but you just hear that Africa, if you arrive in Africa, everything is fine, and you want to face this ocean, after you cross the ocean, you discover you have to follow Sahara Desert to arrive. And when you arrive in Africa, you will discover a lot of discrimination. They will tell you, you are not welcome. You will be in Africa continent for good 7 years, 8 years. Your dream, you never achieve your dream. You have no chance to learn African culture. You have no chance to study in Africa. You have no chance to work. What will you do? And I want you to see the other side of Africa, what we go through here. Every African you see on the street, it's not easy for them to arrive here. If they tell you what they are going through. Last week, I spoke to one African on my social media. He was a refugee. Because police was coming to bring him back to Africa, he jumped from 3-story building. He landed on the ground to escape. He was totally condemned. You can imagine
What does that mean? Being African in Germany. See, today, he cannot really walk. He has serious, severe injury because of that incident. I can count again and again and again what Africa are going through. That is why I want you guys to join me to raise my voice, because I have a goal to change this narrative. I want to thank all of you, really, for the chance you gave me today to speak with you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
We want to thank you very much for coming here and talking to us and engaging with everybody. And as a sign of appreciation, this is for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. I really thank you so much.
Thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
heart. Thank you so much.